Dear viewers, thank you very much for play this video. I have appeared in front of you again today. Now we are in right place. Today I will present a motivational video for beginners. My topic today is about what is stop motion and how does it works and basic concepts of animation. Watch this video carefully and you will benefit even a little bit. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. Channel subscription is very important for me. What is personally love about stop motion animation is that anyone who owns a phone or digital camera can start working with the technique. There are quite a few types, some more complicated than others, but ultimately each one is available to try. So what is stop motion animation and how can you make video at home? Become an animator with stop motion. You don't need fancy equipment or CGI to learn how to do stop motion. That's probably the coolest part about it. Stop motion is a form of animation that is easy to do but can take a very long time. Why? Well, let's first define it so we can see what it takes to create this kind of animation. Stop motion animation is a filmmaking technique in which objects are physically moved in small increments and captured one frame at a time so that when played back it will give the illusion of motion. If one thinks of a flip book, stop motion is similar only it uses physical objects instead of drawings. This kind of animation takes a fairly long time to execute as it is estimated 12 frames are about 1 second of video. There are a few types of stop motion animation and they include manipulating objects, clay, people, outputs, puppets, and more. Type of stop motion animation: object motion, moving or animating objects; clay motion, moving clay; pixelation, moving or animating people; cutout motion, moving paper 2D material; puppet animation, moving puppets; silhouette animation, backlighting cutouts. People have been using stop motion for years and years. Get to know this old age animation technique before high tech CGI was even a thing. It's important to note that this kind of animation can take a really long time because, as mentioned above, 12 frames equals about 1 second of video. Depending on which type of stop motion animation you choose, will determine your limitations. The material and physical nature of each type comes with their own brand of challenges. The video below takes about those below. Object motion can be called object animation as well, and it's simply the moving of objects per frame. You are unlimited with what you can do here because you get to create stories using any and all of the objects around you. Clay motion. Clay motion involves altering clay objects in each frame using wires and clay. You can obviously get incredibly inventive and creative with the types of figures we see on screen. Classic examples of these are Gumby and DreamWorks Chicken Run. Pixelation stop motion. Animating people not used all the time for the most obvious reason. It takes a long time, so the level of patience you need for an actor to move just a smidge every frame, and the amount of frames you need will not only test their patience but probably your budget, assuming you are paying them. The amount of control they have with their movement is also a factor, but if done well, this kind can look pretty cool. Sometimes, though, it kind of gives me a headache. Cutout animation or animation is pretty cool because there are so many things you can do with cutouts. 2D pieces of paper may seem lifeless, but you can color them and cut them to express a level of detail unlike any of the other styles. The cartoonish route you can experiment with is a ton of fun but also significantly more control through your own art and detail. The obvious downside, cutting up hundreds of pieces seems overwhelming. Puppet animation using puppets can produce some pretty cool results and tell very unique stories, but the trouble can come later when you are dealing with a ton of strings in the shoot. Experienced stop motion animators probably have no problem with this, but may not be the best type of work with initially. These are conventional style puppets. A lot of times, animators will refer to their wire based clay covered figure as a puppet, which also falls under claymation. Traditional marionette style puppets aren't as commonly used. Silhouette stop motion. Using a thin white sheet or blanket, place the objects or actors behind the sheet and using a black light illuminate their shadow on the sheet. You can easily create some beautiful silhouette animation without spending a fortune. In fact, on that same note, now that we know the basics, let's try to do stop motion ourselves. You will see below it doesn't take expensive equipment to pull up. Now that you have an understanding of what stop motion is, let's try it and mention using stop motion is your videos isn't complicated, but it's also even cheaper. Here, what you used. If you have a smartphone, you are nearly good to go. Many stop motion apps are free and special and add-ons are only about $5. The app literally entitled Stop Motion works well, especially for your first few stop motion projects. Don't kid yourself into thinking you need fancy cameras or expensive software to pull this off. You really don't, but hey, if you have gear, even better. If you have a solid DSLR, awesome. Dragon Frame, for example, is a fun stop motion software that runs about $300 and you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. This is great if you own a small business and are trying to put out professional guilty looking videos fast, but again, you don't need it. So, with your smartphone, open up the stop motion app and start taking pictures. It captures one picture at a time and adds each one to a timeline. You can scroll through these shoots and see if any look up and simply delete them. What is considered before stop motion video? Your camera needs to be steady. Having a good setup helps with this. You will see in the video. Don't touch the camera. You will have the clean set looking stop motion animation if you avoid hitting the button every time. Try triggering the camera to a picture by using either a remote trigger or just set a timer on the app to take a picture every few seconds. If there is any mistake in my video, please comment. Any comments will make my way easier. Your valuable comments will motivate me to make new videos. Thank you for watching my video. Like and subscribe my channel. See you again next tutorial.